This is a coordinated activity happening across this nation. And so we are in a state of emergency. Black people are dying in a state of emergency.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Wolf with a Pencil, but as you know, you can call me Wolf for short. And if you've watched my videos, you know that this is an art channel, and I like to keep my content very light-hearted and very positive for the most part. I don't really talk about anything political or controversial. Well, maybe a bit controversial, but that's just me speaking my mind on certain subjects. But for the most part, I feel like my channel is a place where you never really felt like it's an uncomfortable situation to watch through or listen through. But obviously, due to what's been going on in the world right now, I can't sit back and just not say anything, especially when this includes Black people, my people. I am Black, as you can see, and I love being Black. I am proud to be Black. I'm proud to come from such a beautiful place. I'm proud of my ancestors, but the world, for some reason, seems to hate us. And yeah, we're going to be talking about the situation that has happened right now to do with George Floyd, but it's not just about George Floyd. Now, if you are subscribed to my channel, I did put out a video not too long ago. I'm not sure when I'll be uploading this, but at the time that I am filming this, I uploaded a video early this morning, or yesterday night. And it was a Black empowerment moment. I felt the need to put out a video to support my Black family up in America who are going through so much right now, and this has been going on for decades. And I did put in the video to read in the description down below. So I will be talking about a few points that I put down in the description that I wasn't able to put in the video, and talk more about the situation. And this is what this video is about, because even though I posted this video and it's received love so far, I feel like I need to say more, and I thought that one video would have been enough for me, but the more I hear about this stuff, the more I feel the need to speak out. Yes, I live in the UK, but at the end of the day, what happens over there, what happens in America, happens here, it happens all over the world. Just like these YouTubers who I've watched so many YouTubers recently who I've been subscribed to for a really long time, who are talking about this matter, Black YouTubers such as It's Keisha and aka Prin. It's Keisha lives in London like me. I live in London. We're both Black. We both feel the same way about what's happening right now in America. And then we have aka Prin, who is in America right now, who is witnessing everything that is going on right in front of her doorstep. And they're more or less saying exactly the same thing. So I feel like I just feel the need to say my part, because this has struck me so differently, and this happens all the time. It happens like clockwork. But if you want to go and see the video in where I draw George Floyd, for him and for everyone who has lost lives in America, lost lives over here, wherever else in the world where we have been discriminated over, where black innocent lives have been killed, that video is for all those people. So if you want to see me create this and kind of empower black people, because I think that's what we need right now, then you can go and watch the video. But I do have a few notes that I would like to pinpoint as one of my really loyal subscribers did send a report from BBC News about the George Floyd situation, and I thank her for that. But there's just a few things that I'm a bit pissed off with that were not really mentioned within the news, and things that are still haven't really been spoken about, to do with the George Floyd situation in particularly. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is that there were actually 4 officers around when George Floyd died. In the report that I read that the subscriber linked down below in my last video, it spoke about how one officer, if I can recall his name, I can't remember his name, but he is the one who was charged with 3rd-degree murder. And then we had another police officer who was pushing back the people who were filming. Those are the only 2 people you could see within the film of certain footage of that video to do with George Floyd. There are different camera angles addressing the fact that it wasn't just one man on top of George Floyd. There are 3, including the one who's been charged with 3rd-degree murder.
Still, just one of the 4 Minnesota police officers fired after Floyd's death has been charged.
In my mind, this was a violation of humanity.
The Minneapolis police chief took a knee in solidarity with demonstrators Sunday, calling out his own officers for not intervening as Floyd struggled to breathe.
To the Floyd family, being silent or not intervening, to me, you're complicit.
And if you actually have seen pictures of George Floyd, you do know that he's a big man. He's muscly. He's big. He could take down one officer, and I'm not saying that's what he would do, but if there's only one man kneeling down on his neck, he would easily be able to get out of that. He wasn't able to because of the fact that 2 other police officers were on top of him, which is why he was saying his back hurts, his neck hurts, his stomach hurts, everything hurts. That's why he was saying it. But certain YouTubers, I don't think, even know the fact that there was more than one police officer on top of George Floyd, and it doesn't change the fact of anything. But what I'm trying to say is that it makes it even 10 times worse, because you have 3 grown men on top of one unarmed, innocent black man who has done nothing and is screaming, well, not screaming, but is saying, "I can't breathe. I can't breathe." All you had to do was talk to him about the situation, which for what we know of wasn't a serious thing. It was to do with a $20 bill that apparently was fake or something, or just wasn't or wasn't valid. And the person who called the police didn't need to do that in the first place. If that person didn't call police, George Floyd would still be alive right now. But it doesn't justify the fact that still millions of black people in America and over here have still died by the hands of white policemen for things that aren't even as major as murder or drug use or whatever it is. But if a white person did exactly the same thing as a black person did, they would get better treatment. they would get better treatment, or because of the colour of their skin. Let that sink in for a bit, because not many people talk about that. All 3 of the policemen need to be charged. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, you had 3 grown-ass men on top of this man. Not 1, 3. And on top of that, they were mocking him. If you actually go and see the video for yourself, you can hear 2 other policemen or 1 other policeman who is not the man who has his knee on top of George Floyd, saying, "Why didn't you get up then? Why didn't you get up then and get in the car? Why didn't you get up?" Mocking the man when he is dying under you. You are really mocking him and teasing him and telling him he can go and do this when you physically can't. And you sat on top of him and were basically chuckling to yourself. How cruel can you be for doing something like that? Like I said in the description of my last video, it is beyond me to how cruel someone can be in this world against someone who has done nothing to you, just for the pure fact of their skin colour. Because you are threatened because we don't look like you. Explain that to me. Explain how explain how the difference between me and you is our skin colour. And that's what makes you scared of us. Like I said in my last video, or what I put down in the video, that you treat animals better than you treat us. Someone who is more human to you, you treat like a wild animal. Like that animal has bacteria. Like that animal has rabies. Like that animal is a vicious killer. But you treat your pets so differently. Some of you treat your pets as if they're your babies. I've got dogs. I've got a snake. And I love them, but they're still animals. I'm human. I am human. My parents are human. My family is human. I have family in America too. It's hard to see what is happening in this world and know for the fact that nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. No matter how much we cooperate with you, no matter how much nicer we are to you, no matter how much we try to show that we are the bigger person, you still treat us like a pile of shit. I'm honestly glad I don't live in America. For a lot of reasons, and this is because of this particular situation is one of them. Because God forbid if I lived in America, if my family lived in America, shit would be different. A lot more people of my family would probably die for things that they didn't even do, for probably parking in a place that they wasn't supposed to park. Another thing that I said in the description down below of my other video is that one small movement can be so dangerous and so impactful to your life as a black person in front of the police or a cop. Because if you simply move your hand, you're instantly shot. There's been so many stories across America where it normally happens in a car. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it happens on the street. If you move your hand ever so slightly, the police instantly feel threatened that you're going to take out something. That you're going to take out a weapon, a gun. Like you think every single black person has a gun on them. No, we don't. There have been riots over here as well, a few years ago. Black people have died in the hands of a white police officer before, over here as well. It may not even be used with a gun. Some are brutally battered with those sticks. The police over here carry sticks that can be elongated, used to hit people with. Like I said in my last video, or what I put in my last video, we have had enough of this injustice against us. Before I was even born, or before my parents were even born, this was still going on. On top of that, we also had slavery. And still to this very day, nothing has changed. Let's bring the slavery out of it for a bit. But nothing has changed in the way you still treat black people. When you are in the police force, it's almost like your target is to be aimed at black people. If there is a phone call and the words African American come up, you're not going to get one policeman. You're going to get like 10. And if not, they're going to be armed with guns and tasers. Being black to you may seem as it's probably a crime, because that's how it seems right now in the world. So many young black boys, because the boys and the men are targeted more than the women. Not to say that women haven't been shot down before, but so many black boys are scared to walk out of their homes in America for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or maybe even being with the wrong crowd. They may not even have done anything, but so many innocent black boys and men have gotten shot. To hear these stories, it makes my heart break and it makes me cry, but to physically see someone take an innocent black person's life away slowly. This man cried out for his mum. His mum, who isn't even around anymore to even save him. And you still let him die. You mocked him. And even after he fell unconscious, everyone was pleading, can you get off him? Check if he's got a pulse. Please, he might still be alive. But you decided to sit there on top of his neck. He could have had hope of being revived in hospital if you actually got off him sooner. But you didn't. And he is dead because of you. Also, he's dead because of the stupid phone call that person made about a stupid $20 bill that may have been invalid. This has hit me differently. I've heard about these stories. I hear about these stories all the time on the news, through social media. But to physically see it has broken me in a way where it physically hurts. We are human, just like the rest of you. But it always has to be brought down to the colour of your skin. And as you can see evidently by the riots in America, we've had marches over here too. We've had peaceful protests in America. We've had a protest over here the other day. And then we have the riots. By what I hear, aren't even black people doing it. Some of the white people are doing it to blame it on top of black people, saying you're ruining our community. Even now, when we are trying to take charge of our lives, you still want to bring us down. When we are trying to protest, when people are trying to protest, try and get it into your thick ass heads. it still doesn't matter to you, because you will still go out and do shit, vandalize things, and then blame it on us. Blame it on the ones who are trying to take charge, even though we kept silent for so long. This situation, apart from everything else that is going on in the world right now, has shaken the world once again. But this time, we can't feel the need to sit back and just let it happen, because this happens like clockwork. Police are meant to be here to protect us. But how can you protect humanity when you are killing half of it because they're different from you? It feels like nothing will ever change, because as generations keep going on, this will be the thing that still stays the same. Black lives matter. You can say all lives matter, but how do all lives matter when black lives don't to you, or to the person who thinks this? They don't if you treat one race differently compared to other different races, or let's just say one race and then you have a few races and then a white race. The white race will always be treated nicer than all the other cultures, especially black people. So this video, I'm sorry, but it's raw and it's real, and I had to say what's on my mind, because that, even putting out one video, to me just didn't feel like it was enough. And it is simple and straightforward, but I just feel like I needed to get out more of what I'm feeling and more of what the black community around the world is feeling, because it's not just black people in America, it's black people everywhere. Because yes, this is more vocal in America, but this happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. I just felt the need to say my part and speak my mind. I can't sit back as a young black girl, a young black woman, and just not say anything. I actually have something to project on, even if it helps change people's viewpoints even a little bit. It will help. My channel is normally positive, but right now, as a black person myself, I can't sit down and create a normal video that I would normally put out and pretend that everything is okay. I was going to put out a different video today, but I can't. Not while this is happening. Not while this is still fresh within my soul. I'll probably go back to my usual content next week, hopefully. But right now, this is something I needed to get off my chest, and it's something that I felt like I needed to say. I normally do art on this channel, so if you're interested, you can check that out. But that's all I've got to say.